So, Johnny Groats, that is right in the top northeast corner of Scotland. Hello all. Okay, in this video I'm up here at Johnny Groats, which is at the northeast corner of Scotland. I brought my dad and my young brother with us. Dad's not been here before, it's his first time ever. I've been here a few times before. My brother was here, I took them up. I took my brother and my mates up here 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago perhaps. But I've been here a few times and I've done a video. But throughout this video I'm just going to get various footage throughout the Johnny Groats area. Now it was a long drive from Dundee, it was a 250-mile drive, but we stopped off at Inverness, that's where we're based. So we came up yesterday at Inverness. Today I set off from Inverness to come here to Johnny Groats, which is about a 120-mile drive. I'm going to spend time here and then drive back to the hotel at Inverness tonight. And then tomorrow we'll head back to Dundee. So an all-long trip from Dundee to Johnny Groats is 250 mile approx, and Inverness is about the halfway mark. That's kind of halfway between Dundee and Johnny Groats. So I'll take footage throughout. First thing we're doing is we're down desperately to get something to eat. We're going to get one of the restaurants and that up there. So, and at the moment I'm at the car park. It's £3.50 a park all day, but that's just how it is. It goes towards the Johnny Groats Development Fund. So it's a very famous place, Johnny Groats. It's like in contrast with the Land's End, which is down in the southwest coast. Johnny Groats being up in the the northeast coast of Scotland, whereas Land's End is in the southwest coast of England, right at the bottom west corner of the UK. Johnny Groats is right at the opposite end, the diagonally northeast corner of the UK, as far north as you could get on the mainland, more or less. There is I think Duncansby Head or Dunnet Head or something is the actual most northerly point on the UK mainland, which isn't far from Johnny Groats. So depending on the time I might go there later. Like I say, it's a long drive back to Inverness, so it's just a day thing. But first port of call was something to eat. Something to eat then, let's go and find somewhere to eat. Day like this should be. I might try having something to eat in there. They do. Ordered up something up there, take it over there. So I had a bite to eat at that place there. I'm actually quite full up. The weather is lovely. This is the early April 2025 and the weather is really good the way the weather should be this time of year. So my dad and brother are going for a wee wander. They'll do their own thing for a bit. I do my meet up at the car in about an hour or so. I'll just do my own thing, I'll get some footage and that as well. I'm going to chill out here for a bit. It's lovely here, Johnny Groats. So I've done a video in this area before actually, a couple of years back. 2 and a bit year ago, but I'm just going to do another one anyway for 2025. So as I say, I've kind of covered this area before, but I'm just going to do another wee video regardless. I never get bored of coming to places like this anyway, it's just lovely. Just doing a chill out, you know, a day like this. It's quite busy actually though, I was busy earlier on. So and this is where you get the Maxi tour. Actually, the Maxi tour I done a couple of years back. It's basically the ferry comes from here, that ferry, it's a big boat. Comes here at the harbour, it goes to the Orkney Isles. And when it gets there, there's a coach waiting, and that coach does a day tour around the Orkney Isles. And then once that's done, the ferry brings you back here. So it's an all day thing. It's for about 8 in the morning till about 8 at night. Can't remember the cost, I think it's in the region of about 50 quid or something for the whole thing. And that gives you the entrances to some of the tourist attractions on the Orkney Isles. Plus you get to visit Stranaway and Kirkwall. Italian Chapel was one thing. You got to see the Churchill barriers as well. The Ring of Borough. I can't remember that other archaeological site. I can't remember, it was an old ancient Scara something maybe, I can't remember. But anyway, that's the Maxi tour, and you get that from the. You can book online, of course, but you can also get it from the ticket office just up there. The ticket office is in this kind of area. I remember getting that, but I think I booked it online the last time. The last time I done it. The first time I went on the Maxi tour was back in 2001, and it was brilliant. I think I just got the ticket at that time from the ticket office, and then I done it again in 2003. So anyway, I'm just going to chill out here at Johnny Groats for a bit. It's a lovely sunny day, absolutely brilliant. So all the novelty stuff, the signage and all the painting, Johnny Groats signs are all, for the photos and that. A lot of people are doing that. You stand behind it with the Johnny Groats in the background, particularly the white one up there. That tells you the distances and that. So I've already got that footage anyway with my dad and my brother. So that's for my own records. But I'll get a few pictures of this because it's just lovely.
Together.
That was the day tours I was on about earlier, the Maxi day tours to the Orkney Isles from Johnny Groats. And these are good. These are good. They're seasonal, but that was at Scarabray Stone Age Village. That was the archaeological site I was trying to remember earlier. But the Maxi tour covers all this. That's the Pentland Venture. MV Pentland Venture. So all that is covered on the Maxi tour. It's definitely worth a visit. It's worth a trip if you're up this way. It's definitely recommend doing the Maxi tour. It's a brilliant way of spending the day. So it has its own distillery here as well. There's a lot of chalets and stuff here also. And I can smell the distillery from here. In the distillery, you just have to be look around just a minute. But they do tours here as well. So. I had some tea earlier, so I know that hungry. I would have got a coffee and cake normally, but I know that hungry. So yeah, it was quite nice. Something you've got to watch when you come up here is it seems as though a lot of places seem to close early. I mean, it's only like 20 to 5 and it's kind of like unwinding. It's getting sort of, shops closing and that, yeah. But it's just Just got to be wary of that. It's kind of like an early thing, you've got to get here like in the early afternoon. I mean, the place Johnny Groats is always open, but the attractions that are kind of close earlier than I would maybe have liked it. It'd been better if they opened later, but that's just from my point of view. But anyway, here's a view of the distillery from here. You kind of see the copper distillery in there. I might see it through the window. But you do get a tour anyway of the distillery. I haven't done that yet, but maybe for another time. Just a short, just a brief visit to Johnny Groats. And this 2 nights at Inverness, and it's only up here for the day. I'll probably go to one of the lighthouses on the corner. My dad and my brother get back. Okay, maybe go for a wee drive up that way. I'll get some footage when I get there. But, there's bus stops as well, so it's very seldom I think, but there is a bus stop down there, maybe once a day or twice a week or something, I don't know. But the Seaview Hotel's there up on the left at the end of that road. First time I came to Johnny Groats was in July or August 2000, it was just about 25 years ago, and I spent the night at that hotel. I went back 10 years later, just to go there again, 10-12 years later. But it's become, Johnny Groats has sort of become more, well, like there's some more cafes in that modern one over there, that's kind of new, and the distillery's new. All this caravan stuff was always here, in the old white buildings, they were always there. But it's come more sort of, like the electric charging points and all that, that's all kind of new. It's more touristy now. Well, it was always a touristy place, but there's more kind of like touristy, modern stuff. You know, some of the shops have Wi-Fi and everything, but that's just the way it is now, isn't it? It's just when you think the Highlands of Scotland, right in the North Highlands, it's kind of old-fashioned, you know. No electricity, like living away in the remoteness, but it's not. Johnny Groats is just as modern as anywhere else really in Britain. It's got all the things, it always has been all the years I've known it, but it's kind of like more like Land's End, you know, parking regulations, quite expensive shops, you know. There's always a gift shop, the wooden gift shop was always there, but the modern, like the cafes are nice, but it's a novelty, they're quite, you know, you could get stuff cheaper, but for up here that's your normal sort of going rate for any touristy place, and this is just, you would typically spend. But they do, a lot of the places do shut earlier, which is a bit disappointing, I think, especially at early April. I think they should be open till a lot later in my opinion, but it's just how it is. Pub's open, but things seem to sort of unwind. But there's still a lot of tourists that obviously walk around and that, you know, like myself and that. So yeah, I mean, you walk around, you still get the outdoors, but there isn't an awful lot here. It might just be for cost effectiveness for the businesses and that, they shut early, but you know, it's a long way. I think it'd be nice if they were open later again. But anyway, that's just my view. That's my view. I don't win them right enough, but anyway, I'll get a picture of that before it gets busy. So I wouldn't be able to go in there obviously because I'm the driver, I'm doing all the driving, so but that's to be expected. Anyway, I'm enjoying myself here. Maybe I'll have a wee walk up there, I think. Yeah, I might go along to Duncansby Lighthouse, Duncansby Head later. It's just a couple of miles on the east corner from Johnny Groats, about 2-3 miles or something. As I say, I'll wait till my dad and brother get back. We'll meet back at the car. The car's the base, so I think they went for a walk the other way. I just sort of done my own thing at the moment, and then I'll meet back in about, I said about 15 minutes to go yet, something like that. So I'll just go for a wee walk along here. I say the weather is absolutely brilliant. That's the Organ Isles up ahead. Not that false horizon above the sea, that seems to be a phenomenon that I've noticed fairly lately, but that's for another thing, but another video. Got my own views on that one, but certainly not. Well, I used to remember seeing horizons and cloud behaviour, but that's my view on it. It's bizarre, and there's a lot of bizarre weather phenomena. But today is actually how the light levels should be for this time of day and time of year. It's kind of like in line with what I remember, certainly for now anyway. Because lately, certainly in the last few years, within that, well, since 2018 was a big turnover for the weather as far as I can see. A lot of bizarre phenomena regarding the weather. Light levels all over the place, like being dark in the middle of the afternoon and everything, to put lights on in the middle of the afternoon and all that kind of stuff. And then certain days, the next day it could be like really bright, regardless of cloud cover. But I won't go on about that in this video. Oh, got a surprise when I looked over to my right just to see that. I'm not quite sure, just is it a light up or something? It's a wire, a pipe or something going to it. Maybe it's squirts water out. I don't know. I think it actually does, and I'm probably going to get squirted. Yeah, it's probably one of these things that might squirt water out. I guess, I don't know. I just wonder what the heck it was at first. Imagine there was a camera there, wait till somebody puts their face next to it to see what it is and then going to get soaked. It's just one of these things, one of these decorative things, bizarre things. Anyway, I'm going to just chill out for a bit and then I'll walk back to the car park. My dad and brother will probably be there, and then I'll jump in the car and I'll drive up to Duncansby Head Lighthouse and I'll get some footage when I get there. So for now I'm going to walk up to there and then just kind of like slow walk back. I'm going to walk up there a wee bit for a bit and then I'll walk back to Johnny Groats car park. My dad and brother should be back by then, and then like I say, I shall drive up to Duncansby Bay, which is up, or Duncansby Head, which is right in the northeast corner. Well, Johnny Groats is the northeast corner, but Duncansby Bay is kind of like a couple of miles right on the corner, so to speak. Whereas this is really close enough to be in the garden as the northeast corner of the mainland. So that's about a 250 mile drive to Dundee and about 1,000 miles to Land's End. Well, if you're driving it anyway. So I've got to about here. I think I'll probably just kind of turn back now. I could walk for miles, but I'm only really up for the afternoon, so I've got to limit my time in one place kind of thing, so I could cover more things in the short time, limited time that I've got. Yeah, like I was saying before about the sunlight levels and that, so there's been times like recently in the last few years that the sun could be about as bright as it is today, but yet it could be freezing, you know, really, really cold. There's other times where it could be as clear a day as this, sky-wise, cloudless virtually, and it could still be quite dim, having to put lights on inside, you know. But today, the weather feels like how it kind of, it's much more like, for today, for just now anyway, it's much more like how it kind of used to be in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s, up until about 2012, 13, 14, 2015, certainly 2018 was a big turnover. That was like when the weather was just going completely crazy. Now I'm not saying that I don't know what's causing it or whatnot, but certainly what I'm observing anyway, my observations, I've heard of the terms called geoengineering, I've heard of that. I've heard of all sorts of things, climate change, all the rest of it. Frankly, I don't know what it is, but it's bizarre anyway, whatever, because it's not how I recognise what the weather used to be like. Today is a bit more home-like, it's more familiar to how I always remembered it, like, you know, it's pleasant, there's more heat energy, there's more energy from the sun. It actually feels better, I feel more positive, I feel warmer, I feel better, it's brighter, it feels more familiar how the climate was back in the day, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, right up until 2015, 2018, when it started going a bit haywire, and it still is from there on. This is just a small window of familiarity, because for me anyway, that's my observations regarding it. There is a phenomenon called the Mandela effect. Anytime I mention it in a video, I always say, if you're interested in the phenomena, the Mandela effect phenomenon, do your own research or searching into it and come to your own conclusions regarding it. Oops. So whether it's a Mandela effect phenomena, whatever it is, I've experienced it before on a number of occasions. What's it resembles what's referred to online as a Mandela effect phenomena. But as for the weather and that, you know, like even today, driving up from Inverness to Johnny Groats, I noticed a lot of strange, bizarre things with the mist and the cloud formation, like away over there, that false horizon. That's all utterly bizarre. And coming up as well, the way I've got examples of other things like that back home in Dundee and round about that area, but I certainly saw quite a lot of bizarre stuff, you know. I've even pointed out on my other videos the Rothfin barracks. There was a bit of point out on that. But the false horizon up there is quite a way out in there, you know, that's quite, I even get imitates the land, and that's that. But certainly here I am here in Johnny Groats, I'm feeling quite pleasant with the way the weather is, and it's sort of more familiar, you know. But yeah, certainly for right here and right now. The moon's still quite bizarre because the craters look different. I always remembered and always known that the moon, and I was always told that the moon never rotates its face, it's always shown the same. So it's like a clock face, it's always, what's in the 5 o'clock position is always there. Well, looking at it now during the day, it was originally in the 5 o'clock position, it's down to 2 o'clock, then it rotates. It never used to do that. Again, it's a possible Mandela effect. Oh, how well it's going to come out here. This is the S20, so it's the best I've got at the moment. Yeah, so that with the crater, that bit there, that always used to be in the 5 o'clock position. It's now sort of like in between the 2:30 and 3 position at the moment. But it never used to rotate. I was always told that the moon face never rotated. But now, in recent years, it started doing that. And it supposedly always has, which is bizarre in its own right. Hence why I refer to it as being resembling what's referred to online as the Mandela effect. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that in this video. When in out places like this, I get a chance to just clear my head, have my own thoughts, enjoy it. And right now, I'm getting the feeling of familiarity with it. Just the way the light has got more energy, the sun's got more energy, feels warmer, it's brighter. It's not that sort of fake simulator sun where it's just dim, cold and white and doesn't give a nice feeling about it at all. I've recognised that before lately. But this one is more like a warm yellow, pleasant, positive feeling, and it's brighter, it's got more energy, and it's not piercing hot like the white one. It's a warm one like the way it used to be, and it's bright, and it's in the right light level as well. I don't even need to think about putting lights on or anything like that when I'm inside, and everything looks brighter. So yeah, that's how I refer. Like, I mean, I've heard the terms of sun simulator, reflectors, putting stuff in the atmosphere, reflecting sunlight back out to space, you know, and all sorts of things. HARP that control it, like beaming up high energy electromagnetic radiation into the stratosphere. It's online. You can type in HARP, HARP, HARP. There's it's high or something, an abbreviation anyway for something. But there's more than one HARP. There's one in America somewhere. But I've heard of it. Now, I don't know what it is. I've never worked for HARP or anything, but I've not been there. I'd like to go, to be interested. I always like to learn. I want to learn, and that's my thing. I like learning. Science is I've always been interested in that. So, anyway, I think my dad and brother will be back to the car, and I'm going to make my way to Duncansby Bay, to the lighthouse. So I'm just going to take a slow, chill out kind of walk back up to the car park. This is a big foghorn. Warning ships of the land in the foggy weather. But this is just a museum piece here at the moment. It's usually situated near lighthouses, but this one's just an example one. So there's my dad and brother just up there on the sea. They're just waiting on me coming back. So we'll make a wee trip over to Duncansby. Oh dear. Yeah, I do, yeah. No. So I've just kind of stopped here en route to Duncansby Bay. Now this is the kind of bizarre weather and phenomena that I'm talking about. I'll show you, I'll give you an example of what I mean. Now right now the weather behind me is okay, that's kind of normalish. Up here, this is just nuts. I mean, I know about mist coming off the water and that, but I've never ever seen it so dramatic like this before until fairly recent years. I mean, look at this, it's white bit there, it's dark there, lighty there, white there, lighty there, and there's all this line, and then you get the false horizon up there as well. It's just mental. I mean, really, it's almost like there's colour there as well. It's almost like there's a bit of a sort of rainbow colours, just very faintly on the outside of that. But I don't know how much I'm going to see when I get to Duncansby Bay, but it's certainly very unusual why there's such a dramatic effect. And then you've got the moon just up there as well, which is, if we can get into focus. So all that is quite picturesque and really, really quite unusual as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to get a few still pictures of that. But over there it's kind of more normal, that's kind of more how it was, you know, light level wise and that. There is still a sort of unusual haze and that there, but you know, it's still bright enough and the sun's kind of like got the energy. Oh, it's getting a little bit colder, it's 5:25 and I'm getting right to the east bit of the coast where it meets the north coast. This is like the corner. So, very popular for mobile homes and that, as you probably could see. It's almost like being in a plane, you know, you're like above the clouds. I mean, it's never like that, it's just unusual. It's almost like the clouds are on the ground rather than mist. It's so thick and different colours and different layers and white there. That's unusual. That never used to be a thing that used to happen. This is a fairly lately thing. 3-4 years it's got more and more dramatic. 2018 was a big turnover. Anyway, let's go to Duncansby Bay. They're waiting on us, so I better make a move. I want to get over there as well sometime today because I've still got a long drive back to Inverness. That's where we're spending tonight. Well, here we are at the Duncansby Bay. I'm going away to look at here. So it's rather unusual the way the light is. I mean, it's just the way the mist and everything is so quite bizarre. You know, I've been here before anyway, and I've never seen it like this or anywhere. This phenomenon doesn't just happen here; it happens other places as well. So it's sunny, but it's still kind of cold now. It's actually colder. You can still see the moon. It's really odd. I got my jumper on now because it's a kind of cold. Now, there's even like a white band of mist there as well. I'll show you. It's kind of like, it's unusual, dreamlike, just ghostly, like, you know. And then you've got that horizon, which is not real. It's just thick. Mist. But anyway, this is the lighthouse, so I'll get some footage of that and the information board as well. Watch it. So So yes, you've got this kind of like a white band of, I don't know if it's coming in the camera, but it's really like a defined white band. Then you've got this very, very predominant false horizon going right across there. I mean, it's like flying above the clouds, to be honest with you. That's kind of what it's like. And you've got this line, and there's mist here as well, and it's so surreal like feeling. I mean, I wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't strange. If it was normal, I wouldn't be noticing any difference, but I could assure you this is not how the weather used to be in the last few years ago. It's gone completely nuts. Certainly starting from 2018, that's pretty much a turning point as to when it went all bizarre. Sun setting in the wrong, sunset colours in the wrong area of the sky. The sun sets in the southwest here in Britain, but that year, looking over at the southeast, there was sunset colours over there. I've got pictures and everything of it, and it's been doing that kind of like ever since at certain times. But that was the first year I noticed, certainly the winter of 2017, I noticed the big difference. It was light here when it should have been dark. Coming for the shortest day of the year, 21st of December 2017, and yet it was a lot lighter than it should have been. And that's when I certainly noticed there was something odd about the weather. But anyway, this is looking at the views over towards the organisation. Johnny Groats is over there, a couple of miles west of Mainland. This is literally on the corner. That's going down the east coast of Scotland now. And so it kind of goes round and comes to the north coast. So yeah, might get a few selfies and that. And that's quite something, isn't it? I mean, I've seen things on TV and animations and videos and special effects and that, but this is like real life. I've never seen it like this before. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's spectacular, don't get me wrong, it's really impressive, but it's bizarre. It's not normal, it's not what it used to be at all. It's like a new reality. I say that because of the Mandela effect phenomena and conscious shifts and all that. Okay, it sounds like sci-fi, it might sound like far-fetched, but that's fair enough for those that don't really experience what... I mean, I know what I've experienced. I didn't name it the Mandela effect, but I know that it resembles what's referred to online as the Mandela effect. Now, this is the sheer drop. You should keep your body length, at least your body length away from the cliff edge, because that is a sheer drop. It's beautiful, spectacular, nice scenery, but keep at least your body length away from the edge, so if you do fall at worst, your body length away from the edge is a rule of thumb. Well, actually the rule of thumb is even more. Don't even risk anything, just be extra careful. But there you go, it's pretty spectacular. I'm just going to enjoy this for a moment. Yeah, I'm just going to take all this in. I'm going to get a wee selfie of that as well before it goes. I don't think I'll go anywhere in a hurry, it's probably all day. I'm going to get a picture of that in the background and just enjoy this moment. So, Dad and Alec are going to be for a wee wander down there or something. I'm going to put my jacket on because it is actually getting a bit cooler now. So I've got my jacket in the bag, I always go prepared. I mean, it's lovely down there, but it's a little chilly up here. So once I get my jacket on, I'll go for a wee wander up that way, just not that far like, but I'll have a wee look up there. I've been there before, but I'm just going to have a little look, never get bored of it. So I know I was saying it was warm earlier on at Johnny Groats, it was, but up here it's a little bit different. It's actually quite airy, but anyway, that's what it's like. It's quite bizarre actually. Only just a couple of miles there, it's warm. Right? You saw it, I was in my t-shirt earlier on. Now, just a couple of miles east, I've got my jacket, my jumper and my hat on with Tammy. But there you go, the light levels are still the same. The temperature has really dropped though, and it certainly feels a lot colder anyway. So, as I say, the contrast in weather is just incredible. Back there, it's like how I remembered it. Now it's still the same level but colder. So just going to walk up here. I don't know how much I'm going to see off the coast, but I'm going to go for a wander up here anyway. To the Prig Point. So we can hear a ship actually. Not really coming very clear on here. I could hear it. I could hear the engine from here because it is just a clear line of sound. And there's hardly any other noise or traffic noise or anything else. And the wind, well, there's not much wind, but the sound certainly you can hear it for miles. But yeah, that should be going into, I don't know if we're going into Johnny Groats or Thurso. But there's another one between Thurso and Johnny Groats. There's a harbour. I can't remember what it's called now. So you would normally see the ocean, the sea, well the North Sea from here. You see the ocean at the west coast and the Atlantic Ocean, but this is the east coast, so it's the North Sea. You won't see the North Sea just now because of all this unusual, strange behaving fog or mist. But it's quite impressive, but very bizarre. You might hear the water. I know that it's there, I've seen it before obviously. So, I mean, a couple of miles down there it'll be clear as day. Just where we're at the moment, it's very, very unusual being as thick mist like this. What makes it really odd is that line, you know, there's actually a white patch going right down there. Well, I don't know if I can point it, it's going like that. It's hard to show on the camera, but there is a sort of definitive white area. It's almost like a rainbow. It's a white bow, it would be called in this instance. There's another one right in front of me. I don't know how well it's coming out. I'm trying to adjust the settings a bit on the camera, but I don't know just how well it's shown on there because I'm getting kind of like glare off the screen with the sun behind us. But there is a kind of like a white bow going round like that. I mean, it's still clear up there because you've got the moon. You can see the moon, which is bizarre. I've actually got footage of seeing the moon through thick fog, and I've got proof to prove that. I've got footage of it, and at the lamppost you can see how thick the fog is. You're able to see the moon, and it's great. Now I've logged that in before. I found that absolutely crazy because if it was that thick fog to block out the sun at certain times, how on earth could I see the moon at night? But I've got footage, and I've saw it recently. It's a very strange recent phenomenon, including the moon face rotating. So you might see the waves now, just to prove that we're at the water. So it is out there. So I'm right in front of the white bow, right in front of it. You can see it. I mean, I could clearly see it. It's like that. I can actually see it. I mean, I don't know how well it's coming out in here, but I could clearly see it. That's just nuts, eh? I can actually see my reflection off of the fog. I'll see if we can point it out to you. That's just crazy. Look, I'll show you. Yeah, you might just see it. I don't know if it's coming out. Hang on. I could see it with my naked eye. I hope I could share it. It's out there. You might see my actual reflection off of this. My shadow rather, not my reflection. My shadow, beg your pardon. My shadow. I don't know if it's coming out very well in here. I can't really see what it's kind of getting a bit glare. You might just make it out. But it's certainly my shadow. I'm moving my arm, so if it's moving on there, then you should see it, but it's about there anyway. And walking now, and I could see it moving. I could certainly see it myself. But I don't know if you saw that, but I could. It's just nuts. Anyway, I'm going to sit here for a bit. I've got some Ritz biscuits, and I'm going to sit and look at this for a bit and just chill out for a wee bit, and then we'll get heading back to Inverness because it'll be getting dark about 8ish. I want to get some daylight going back. So it's about 10 to 6. I'll leave here about 5 past 6. That gives us a good couple of hours of the majority of it being daylight. So that's kind of fair because my dad's not seen Johnny Groats before, so it'd be good to get back to Inverness and so you could actually see the scenery in the daylight as we get back to Inverness, you know, heading south. because I've shot it before. So it's my brother many years ago, like, but I've seen it before, but my dad hasn't. So I'm going to just make a point of leaving it while it's still enough and leave enough daylight to get back to Inverness. So I'm going to sit here for 5 minutes and have my biscuits. So it's more just for the novelty. I'm not actually that hungry, but I'm going to have a couple anyway. I had something to eat at Johnny Groats and it was full up, but I just want to have the novelty of sitting here and eating and looking at that as well at the same time. So I'm going to do that now. So, I clearly see that white bow though. I just chilled out here for a good 5 minutes just looking at that. Here in the wildlife. Oh, actually, that ain't no wildlife, that's a drone. You hear a whining sound, like a bee, high pitched. That's somebody's drone. But there is a wildlife as well, but that was quite predominant. This you might see it a lot clearer now. This bow going right round. I mean, there's a drone flying around. There it is there. I was about to say flying below me because there is a sheer cliff drop down there, so the drone could quite possibly be flying down there. But it's actually just, I saw it a minute ago just up there. But it too might be getting some footage of this. That's the false horizon. That's cloud base. It almost looks like the ocean, the sea. It's like, it looks like the sea horizon, but it ain't. That's not the sea. You can even just see it a wee bit wavy as well. But it's clearly not. See, it's hard to distinguish between the horizons now and the false horizon. You can clearly see my shadow down there as well. So I'm going to get back to the car now because that's the coming on for about 6 o'clock, and as I say, I want to drive back in the daylight, at least so my dad can see the scenery going back, and it's better driving back in the daylight anyway. So I mean, it will be light for another couple of hours anyway, 2.5 hours. So when it's about that going back, we stopped off a few times going up, but it'll be about 2.5 hours getting back. It's a 120 mile drive here from Johnny Groats back to Inverness approximately. Going down the A9, well, going down the A99 first, through Wick, and then onto the A9, but it would say A9, because the A9 branches off at Wick and goes to Thurso, but it branches off and it's A99, it will take you to Johnny Groats. So I've got to go down the A99, then get to Wick, and then when it meets the A9, and then from there I just head to Inverness. And the A9 I think is the longest road in Scotland. I think it starts from Falkirk and it makes its way all the way up to Thurso. I think the A9 used to be ended at Johnny Groats, but all the time I've known it has been the A99, but I think it was the A9 at one time, many decades ago, probably before I'd ever, maybe in the 60s or something, I don't know, maybe earlier. But looking over there, it's quite impressive. I'm going to show you this before I go. You're actually getting the land shadow as well in this mist, and you can see my shadow quite clearly now. And you can see it sort of, you would think it's actually clearing up. You would think that you may think that it's the ocean horizon, the North Sea horizon, but it's not. So that's how convincing it is. That's how thick cloud. The water is behind that in that shadowy area. You can see the waves. That's the actual water, and then you've got the false sort of horizon, like, you know, which can be easily, it may be easily mistook as a horizon. Anyhow, better get going. That's just a look at the top of the lighthouse. As I've got lots of footage of that in another video, I'm sure, when I was up here a couple of years back. But I'll tell you what that reminds me of, looking over there. That reminds me of flying over the clouds when I was, you know, that's what comes to mind when I'm looking at that, being above the clouds in a plane. That's, you know, that's just what it's like looking over this now. You see that? It's just totally, you know, it's just like looking at a plane window as far as I'm concerned. I'm trying to get this to focus, it keeps going out of focus a little bit, but it's maybe even having difficulty focusing because of this bizarre nature of this scenery. Because it is, I mean, It's even like the fluff tops of the clouds looking over there. If I would just behave and go to focus, I could try and share it with you. That might make it a bit better for you, I don't know. But it certainly does have that feeling effect. That's what comes to my mind when I'm looking at that. It's just crazy. I mean, it's impressive, but it's bizarre at the same time. You know. It feels cold enough to be above the clouds. When you're flying that plane, obviously it's about minus 50 degrees or something up there in the stratosphere, but is it the hemisphere or the stratosphere or something? Certainly if you're in a jet plane, it's extremely cold up there, which is ironic because right now it's actually quite cold now. But yeah, that's what comes to mind anyway. See, I really am impressed with that, and I just want to get quite a lot of footage of that. So yeah, I just really do find that impressive, and I just captured as much footage of it as I can. I could look back to it myself as well, and I would share it with you also. I just can't really get bored of being amazed like that and being impressed by it, you know. It is after all something new to me. I mean, I turned 50 this July, so that's half a century, right? Now, I've seen weather before in my years, and this is like growing up again, seeing the weather again for the first time, because this is not the normal behaviour of weather and phenomena that I'm familiar with. I had been familiar with for the past, well, when I first started noticing it would have been 43, 2000 and certainly 2018 was a turnover, so it was for 43 years prior the weather was beginning to get stranger towards that time, but prior, certainly in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s and probably early up to 2010, the weather was kind of, you know, just what it was. But then it started getting a little bit bizarre. But 2018 was a big turn point, that winter of 2017. So all the years prior to that, the way I was familiar with the weather, I just, you take for granted that was the weather. But now looking at this, it's just like reset, it's all over again. I mean, I can even see a little bit of rainbow colours down there as well. I don't know if it's coming out on the camera or not, but it's, I'm trying to share that with you. It's hard to do my best to show you it. I'm getting still pictures as well, but there. That'd be sort of like a bullseye, it's like a round dartboard right in the centre. Now what is all that about? You know what I mean? What is that about? Is that normal? Like heck it is. That ain't normal. That's really nuts. It's impressive, but it's not normal. It's bizarre. That's the first time I've ever saw that. And I'm hoping I'm able to share this with you. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's incredible. Wow. I mean, that is actually amazing. I'm kind of like taken back by that. Jeezy peeps. What the heck? Look at that. That is something else. Look at that selfie with that. That is... I mean, really. I mean, I wouldn't be standing here getting excited if this was just normal. It isn't normal. Like I say, I've been around for nearly 50 years, and I've never, certainly in the last 10 years, so 45 years of weather was one thing, so I've got 45 years of momentum to adjust my way of what I took the weather for granted as, and this is like new to me again, you know. It's incredible. I mean, I am impressed, but I also want to learn what's actually causing it, what's happening as well. I do. I've always been interested. I thought I could even see that turning at the same time. On the lighthouse. And then focusing back to this again. I mean, what in the naming? What is that? Honestly, that is not... Jeez, I'll have to get some other pictures on my other phone of that before it goes away. So yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with all this light show stuff. It's really, really quite impressive and quite alarming as well, because there's certainly changes in what I took for granted for reality. It just shows you it's awakening. So yeah, in awakening, it's more aware now of things that what was once taken for granted isn't necessarily all there is to it. I knew there was always more to life anyway, even before I discovered and came across the Mandela effect phenomenon, because I came across that phenomenon before it even came across the term Mandela effect phenomenon way back on one or two occasions. I didn't understand it, but I sure experienced it. And in about 2016, by the later part, I came across the term Mandela effect phenomenon online. A lot I could relate to, rather. Things that resemble it. So what I'm going to do, I'll pretty much round off the video, because when I get back to the car I'm just heading back to Inverness. I started the video with Johnny Groats. I'll just end the video with Johnny Groats, which is, well, this is more or less Johnny Groats. It's just a couple of miles east of it. So, I'll show you this first though. There used to be a shed that blew over, a ruined shed. The first time I came here in 2000, there was a wooden shed that was on this base. I'm just going to have a quick look at that before I go. So yeah, I'll have a quick look at this. It's been done before that though, because I've been here since then. But I just want to have a look at it. Picture of myself in it as well. So that's where once there was a wooden shed here. That wasn't in the best of conditions. Foundations have still survived, being concrete, but the wooden shed's been long gone. I mean, look at this, it's just incredible, isn't it? Look at the cloud right above it. And that definitely reminds me of flying over it. I looked at the plane windows when I went abroad, and that's what comes to mind. Completely covered the sea, and yet you've got this wall, and then suddenly you can see it again, and then you've got more over there in the horizon. See that land over there, by the way? That's Dunnet Head. That's the most northerly point on the UK land. I've been there before. I've done a video of it a couple of years back. It was entitled Johnny Groats Files. Johnny Groats videos, parts 1 to 4. Yeah, I'll just round the video off here. I think that's all I'm going to show for now, because as I say, it's getting on for time. Okay, right, I'll get this up as soon as I can when I get back home. It's great I could stay here for ages, but I just can't get away. I just can't I can't pull myself away from it. I'm impressed. You know. Just look at the lighthouse, the way it's all just sitting there with all that going on in the background and that, and the colours. That's mental. Wow. Right, okay, I'll have to go now. So I hope you enjoyed the video, see what else I've got on my channel, and thanks for watching. Okay, bye for now, see you later, bye.